My name's Kidnapper. I'm the dad of the Bennett family, or KidsOutWild, and this is the start of our CDT journey. Here we are at the Southern Monument. There was Mexico. Here is the monument, and now we're heading north. We've got a little bit of confidence as we've done a few of these before, but every single time there's a lot of anxiety as you just hope everything goes smoothly. So you can see we kind of waited till the end of the day to start hiking, and we only hiked, I think, about 1.5 miles our first day. It was a late start, but it's much cooler that way. And beautiful sunsets, beautiful sunrise. So everything in the desert wants to poke you and rip your tents. I think we were in it one day and we ripped our tent right here at this little water cache. All your gummy bears apparently melt together. Gummy fish. It's a big glob of calories right there. Again, waiting until the cooler part of the day to hike on. And then, walking through all the pokey stuff of the New Mexico desert. So I'm not sure if there's going to be a spot on here, but some of those thorns are as long as your finger. They are really long. Here we are hanging out at a tank some rancher has set up, and that was the only shade, which in the middle of the day is nothing. So it was just kind of hunker down as close to the tank as you can and try and make it work. But there was water nearby, and so that's great. Some old cans and some trees. I wonder how long they've been there. But this is a typical afternoon. That tree was the only tree for like 1 mile. Not much of a tree, but it did have some shade. And then with the umbrellas, we can make it a little bit more shade for ourselves. So it's a nice place to hang out. Here we are, another beautiful sunset. And again, I think this is New Mexico. All the way to Cuba, there is this really fragile ecosystem. Like really nothing sticks. And you can see our dog really loves wearing his shoes to protect his feet from all the cactus and sharp stuff. Another little tree in the middle of nowhere, and us hanging out by it. Lots of dead cows. But yeah, here this is a wind-blown little area. But beautiful cactus. That cactus right there with the yellow flowers on it, and that thing is as beautiful when it's alive and when it's dead. Like the skeleton of that cactus is just beautiful. It's got all these little holes in it. There's a water source right there, drinking out of a tire. That's fantastic. Not gross at all. And more rocks. More New Mexico. Apparently it's cold enough for Amazon and honey badger, turtle, ladybug, all to get in their sleeping bags for a little lunch stop. And we do take long lunch stops. It's really the only way to go. Just hunker down and stay in some shade. Naps are great. Yeah. What do they call these things? I can't remember what they call these things. But the barbs on the barbed wire, they never take off in those little sections, and I swear we ripped every single one of our packs going through those little things, whatever they're called. Yeah, here we are. We made it to Lordsburg. This is the railroad right next to Interstate 10, and a long road walk with lots and lots of trash. I'm not a proponent of drunk driving. However, I kind of think the container laws might be might help with the littering, because everything we passed was a liquor bottle, which also is kind of scary because it's obviously a lot of drunk driving. Here you can see the windmill. When the wind blows, it's going to fill your bladder. When it doesn't, you're just waiting there hoping for it to blow. This was another spot. This was a little bit off the trail, but it was worth it because it wasn't that bad, and again, it was another spot that had a little bit of shade if we just got up right next to the tank. Day 9, north of Lordsburg, more cows. I think we actually set up this night, which I know people are going to be like, oh, that was really dumb. But you kind of face between not having a place to set up and wind to having a place to set up, but we set up in a wash. We didn't think it was going to rain. We do check the weather, but flash floods are an issue. I wouldn't recommend, just mindlessly setting up in a wash. But we set up in a wash, camped out. It's great. Here we are. Marker. We drink most of the time with the cows out of the. Luckily we have ranchers, or there's ranchers that are nice enough to let us use their water. So we're filling out of the troughs. I'd say, I don't know. I think about half of the water sources down there were solar powered instead of wind powered, but there were still a bunch of windmills. But solar power seems to be what they're switching over to. So probably, I guess, cheaper, less maintenance. There's Muir. He actually makes everybody happy in the morning as he goes from tent to tent and just encourages everybody to start hiking. So he had a rough time in the desert. This was a day where we were really worried about him. We didn't get to toughen up his pads like we normally do, which was basically playing fetch with him on asphalt or concrete just to kind of callus up his pads. But he had a hurt paw, and so anyways, we weren't able to do that. We've tried different things to put on his feet. For the most part, he just hates hiking in booties. The rough wear ones trap in sand, and they don't really let his feet flex. We've even done like little baby socks in those booties as well. They don't work. We've done taller booties. Basically, the only thing that works is these ones that are basically just like a nylon sock, and they just go over and Velcro on. But here we are. We got to a spot where we could actually have a trail angel come and meet us, and he took a week off. He was a slacker for a week, but he needed some time off and some time to heal up. So here we are at a water source. There he is, honey badgers carrying him, making sure he's okay. But you can see he's just like, oh, my feet hurt.